I am losing my shit right now. First things first, I do own other clothes, I swear, but it's just a cold day, so I put my Watford jumper back on. I feel like this is a really bad angle. I'm gonna go get my tripod. Hold on a sec. So I'm currently reading a book. I'm almost finished with it. I'm on chapter 34 out of 37, so this is very late to be starting a reading vlog, so good thing that's not what we're actually doing. I am currently reading Of Sunlight and Stardust, written by both Christina Lee and Riley Hart, some of my favourite male authors, and I've recently discovered their collaborations together when I've only read their separate works, so we're delving in. And this book, holy shit. Okay, so story time. The blurb is what drew me into this, and I was so fascinated. You know, sometimes the blurb just grip you and you're like, I need to read this now. Like, screw everything else I thought I was gonna read. This is what we're doing. The whole plot of this story is that it is a male-male romance. It focuses on our two main characters, Tanner and Cole. So Tanner was married to his wife Emma, but she fell sick and died about a year ago. And her dying wish was that he buy this old property with a burnt down barn in the backyard, because for some reason she just felt very drawn to it. They always drove past it when they went on holidays to a town called Red Bluff, and she's like, I want you to like buy this place, you know, like do it up, don't be lonely, just do that for me, essentially. And so off he goes. He moves down to Red Bluff and to Cole. Cole has just recently gotten out of prison and he's looking for a fresh start. So he goes off to Red Bluff and he sees this barn and he's like, oh, you know, I wonder what the history behind that is. And so when Tanner and Cole run into each other, they instantly have this kind of connection. Like, they're both lonely and they both just kind of seem to instantly understand that without even talking to one another. It's kind of beautiful to read. And because he is a convicted felon, it might be a bit hard for him to find work. So Tanner offers Cole room and board as long as he will help him rebuild the barn in the backyard. So they kind of have this arrangement going on. And so while he's rebuilding this barn, Cole finds his journal written in 1948 by this guy who is pining over his best friend. But they're in a time where, like, men were being sent to insane asylums for having feelings for another man. Cole and Tanner come together in the evenings and they read different passages from this journal, and that's kind of what brings them together. And so I found that utterly fascinating, and I was immediately like, I need to read this book. What I didn't count on was it being a little bit more than just a romance. At the moment, the things that I'm thinking, like, I'm slowly piecing things together and realizing how things are kind of like interwoven in this story, and it's amazing me that I didn't pick up on it sooner. And I have a hunch, and I just wanted to film so that I could document my reaction if my hunch is correct. Hi. Oh, no. Oh God, please don't. Oh no. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, no way. I think I'm right. Oh my gosh. Oh, I knew it. Oh gosh. Hold up. Hold the fucking phone. I'm gonna cry. No. Oh my God. No way. Holy shit. I knew it. One chapter left in the epilogue and my hunch was right, and I'm like, oh my gosh. This has got to be like one of the most unique books I have ever read. And if you can't tell, I'm really bloody excited about it. It's like my head is like pounding with how everything is just coming together. Like, it's all flooding me at once, and I'm like, how did I not see it? I feel like there is still more to come. Like, there's a little bit more that we don't know about yet. I'm excited to find out. Okay, let's go. Let's keep reading. Why'd you have to end it like that? Now I want to cry. The bloody swan. You had to end it with the swan. Oh my god. Honestly though, this book is so much more than I was expecting. Like, I was just thinking we were going to be reading about Tanner and Cole, and cool, like they'll find a really old journal and it'll bring them together and it'll be a nice sweet romance. That's all I was expecting, but that's just the surface level. There is so much more going on underneath that. Like, we're just at the tip of the iceberg with the blurb. It's so strange how it took me so long to catch on, because I know that some people, when they're reading it, probably might have picked up on what was happening a lot earlier in the book, and they probably might have been able to guess the ending. But I feel like that's what I love about being so clueless while reading sometimes, that you get to experience like that mind-blowing moment when everything finally like pieces together. I'm not going to spoil anything from this book because I don't want to take away from your experience if you're going to read this. And let me just say, if you enjoy any kind of male-male romance, please, for the love of God, pick up this book. I am begging you. It is honestly like, words cannot express the feelings that I was getting while reading this book. It was mind-blowing and I was crying, but at the same time I was so bloody happy while reading it. I'm trying to think of more words that I can say to convince you how much I love this book, but I don't really think I need to do that at the moment. I think my state is doing that enough. Like, I just want someone to talk to about this book, because I know that if I try and tell my family, they're not going to give a shit, because I could just ramble forever and they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you're going to read this book, do not go to Goodreads, do not read the reviews, do not do anything. Just go into it blind, apart from what I've told you, and read it. And then tell me what you think about it, because I am so excited to hear what you guys are going to think about it. I know I promised a sit down video this week, but I am going to do one next week. I've said that like for the past 2 weeks in a row. I'm so sorry. These things happen, and once again it's a Thursday and I still hadn't filmed anything, so here we are. I am kind of torn as to what to upload next week if I do a sit down video, because knowing me, it'll probably turn into something like this again. I'm either going to do an isolation book haul, so all the books that I bought in ISO. I have a couple of physical ones and several books on my Kindle, so if you'd be interested in seeing all of those together, then let me know. The other idea that I had is talking about either my favorite male-male romances that I've read, or like my go-to authors for those kinds of books. I will see you guys next week in another video. See you then.